Hey y'all, welcome back to Sidewinder Shed. And today I'm working on the wife's Jeep. And what it was doing was when it got hot and got heat soaked, it was just dying out and it would just crank and crank. Wouldn't start up till it cooled down. Now on this Jeep, a lot of times that could be a number of things. And after checking a few things out, I found out that it was a crank sensor. Now this has coil packs, so it's very uncommon for all 8 of them to go out at once. But that's the same problem that if your coil goes out, you'll have that if you have a single coil. But on this, I got 8 coils, and it was getting fuel, and there was plenty of pressure in the fuel line. It's multi-port fuel injection, and so after racking my brain and then checking a few of these symptoms online and everything, I found out that it's common on these Jeep Cherokees for the crank sensor to go bad. And one of the ways you check for that is when it dies, up here on the front there's a box here with a bunch of fuses and relays, and what you want to do is look for the ASD relay, which is this one right here. And when it dies on you, if you can, have somebody crank it. This should click and you should be able to hear it and feel it. If it don't, that's pretty much the crank sensor is bad. Now another way to double check that is, I don't know if you can see it, but down in here you can barely see the starter. You'll see it if you know what you're looking for. And right behind the starter, yeah, it's hard to get the camera in, but anyway, right down in there at the back of the engine, right behind the starter, above and behind the starter going into the block, is where your crank sensor is. And what I did was I just poured some water in it. Actually, I took the hose and I cooled it off with the hose, and she started right up. Engine was still hot and everything, but it cooled the crank sensor down enough that it started right up. So I'm going with the crank sensor. I could still be wrong, but for just doing a home test without any tools or testing equipment, that seems the most likely deal, that it's the crank sensor. And in order to remove the crank sensor, you got to take the starter out. So first thing I did was I disconnected the battery. And from there, we come, let me grab my tools here so I don't have to get back up. You need a 13 millimeter and a 15 millimeter. That's all. There's three 13 millimeter bolts. One of them holds in the crank sensor, and 2 13 millimeter bolts hold the wiring to the starter on, and then the 2 15 millimeter bolts actually holds the starter on. And yeah, let me wiggle my way up here. There's our starter. Okay, and yeah, yuck. Right up here, 2 13 millimeter bolts. And then right there's a 15 millimeter. And then on the back side, I can feel it, but you can't see it. Right there is another 15 millimeter. Those 2 15 millimeters, they hold the starter on. Those 2 13 millimeters hold your wires to the starter on. And then there is a plug up above that you have to unplug. That's part of the wiring harness, and you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it because I can't get my hand up in there. So you got to take the starter out, move it around, and then unplug that plug. And then in behind the starter, up in behind here somewhere, is your crank sensor, and that's held on by a 13 millimeter bolt and an O-ring. So I am gonna pull this starter out, and then I will bring you all back. All right, y'all. Oh boy, yeah, I got the crank sensor back in the wife's Jeep, and I'm sorry, it got hot out here today, and let's see, yeah, that's the old crank sensor, and this goes right into a hole that's that big in the block, and all it is basically is a magnet, an electromagnet, and it just the crank, it just has little spots on it that it picks up, and it tells the computer when to fire and everything. And God, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath, I'm sweating like a pig. Whew, it wasn't supposed to be this hot, but then again, this damn thing is right out in the sun. But yeah, she starts right up, and I had it running for an hour, and just sitting in the oh my God, don't lean on the damn side of the hot ass Jeep when it's been in the sun all day. Yeah, I had it running and left it running for about an hour, just sitting here idling, and temperature got up, and she's working fine. So that should make the wife happy. Although I am gonna be a little bit of a smart butt. Okay. And I'm not telling her I fixed it. She's gonna come home, see it sitting exactly the same way it was when she left. And when she asks me about it, I'm just going to say to her, well, hon, why don't you go ahead and take it for a ride around the block? And she'll say, what, are you crazy? What if it dies on me? What are you going to do then? I say, nothing. But I won't have to sit here and listen to you bitch about me working on it. I'll let everyone know what hospital I'm in and what room and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, I got the starter back in, and there's no new oil leaks, just the same old ones. So we're doing good. Anyway, oh, let me get back out. Anyway, appreciate y'all. I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you all, and thank you to the new ones too. Appreciate y'all showing up. I know I haven't done a whole lot of videos, but life gets in the way sometimes. And oh, the other thing is the truck is doing real good. My old Dodge. She's sitting over here. Yeah, the old Dodge, the transmission on it's doing good now. Everything's doing good. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you all for staying with me and everything. And I'll try and do better. But right now, damn, it's hot out. So I'm going back inside in the air conditioning and chill out a little bit. Y'all have yourselves a good day. Have a good rest of the weekend. Be safe. Take care. And we'll catch y'all later.